So how many of you have, or I'll just say, you know, you're walking down the halls, or you go to a party, or you go hang out with friends, and you see different girls or boys, and they all start to kind of look the same. Everyone's wearing similar clothes, same hair, talk like the same way. And yeah, I'm a victim of it too. I do too. But what I've realized is that this quote applies to our everyday life. It's kind of perfect. It says, "She has as much originality as a Xerox machine," by L. Peter, and I think this is a really good quote because it kind of shows something I think about, and I'm sure all you guys think about a lot. Is when you see people around you that you know. I'm going to talk about 3 different things. The first and the second are kind of linked, and the third is its own thing. The first 2 is I'm going to talk about clothes and style and fashion, and how people are start to kind of look alike. And then the second one is knowledge, and how people's originality with knowledge, they kind of and the third is why it's important, why originality is important. Okay, so the first is clothes and style and fashion. I think people get hooked to these trends, and not saying that they really like them. I mean, you can look back at pictures of when you're little and go, ew, that's so ugly, or your mom looks at her yearbook and goes, why did I wear that? And why was my hair a big afro? It looks horrible. Or why did I tease my hair that big? It's honestly really ugly. Stuff like that. People don't really understand why they do it. They just do it because they see other people do it, and they go, well, if it's accepted, then I guess that's what I should do. And I think that happens a lot. You look at TV, celebrities, magazines, you know, we always talk about that type of stuff in here. How you look at that and you see, you know, people, they look good because they're in a magazine. It's the trend, it's the time. So, you know, I'm not saying you shouldn't be a part of it. It's just funny how we do that. It's just a thought, not necessarily an opinion. And we look at idols and we see them and we want to be them just because they're in the spotlight, but not necessarily because we like what they're doing. The second is knowledge, and how people hear things and they don't necessarily read them anymore. They're just hearing them, like they read blogs and they read MySpace profiles, and they know everything about a certain celebrity, but they don't really know any knowledge about anything relevant to the world they're living in. People don't know a lot. I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people I talk to, I start to realize that I'm hanging out with my friends and we're talking about nothing. You know, you have conversation, at the end of the conversation you think, oh, what do we talk about? Nothing. You're talking about celebrities, and oh, Lady Gaga's crazy, and oh, look at what she's wearing, and Kanye West. I don't care. It's stupid. It doesn't make any difference. So this doesn't do anything. So that's the second thing. And then third is why it's important. Well, I guess those 2 kind of summarize it. But why it's important is because, you know, it doesn't really matter how you look to anybody else, and you'll be remembered for your originality just by what you know. So for me, I try to be as original as possible, just for me, not for anybody else. Like, I try to read as much as I can and listen to other people instead of just talking about mindless stuff. If you listen and just take a look at what's going on around you and all the people you know, you can really, you know, learn a lot just by listening and being original and just being who you are instead of just copies, Xeroxes of everybody else.
I put it, I gave it to him.
What?
Oh, the signing sheet.
Yeah, it's here somewhere. All right, Paige, the attention device was a little confusing. It's survey, no. It's a question, no. It's a visualization. It just seemed like you kind of changed your mind 3 times at the opening section. But you got to the quote, you kind of made your point, and so that was relatively clear. You had a very good preview of what the contents were going to be. That gave you a much better organization, and I thought that you developed the supporting points pretty well in the speech. You had some good illustrations that you could talk about. You have a tendency to drop your voice when you're a little bit uncertain, and as you're making transitions between ideas, the voice just kind of drops out, sort of like if we were traveling through a tunnel on your telephone. You go, huh? What? What'd you say? You know, that sort of thing. And so you want to be a little bit more consistent on that. On the other hand, I think there's good variety in your voice when you're speaking, and it flows very smoothly when you're talking. There aren't hesitations and awkward pauses, so everything is working well there. You have some good indicators while you're speaking. You seem involved. Your facial expressions are generally vivid. Your eye contact, though, I don't think it's as consistent as you probably think it is, because you have those notes in your hand, you're looking at them, you look down quite often. Every time I looked up, I noticed that you were looking down before you then look up, and then when you look up, sometimes you're looking around, but again, not always engaging with people and kind of looking out in the direction of the audience rather than at the people that you're talking to. So you want to work on that a little bit more. That was probably the weakest part of the speech, and everything else I thought was really solid. So that should be something that is relatively easy to work on. I could keep talking, but nobody is listening at this point. They're all looking at the clock saying, go, go, go. Okay, thank you.